بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful evening. And today we will be talking about the amazing I'm sure you can tell by the title. I'm not quite sure what I titled this, but finally I did the right intro. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I'm incredibly nervous. I have, again, what else? I'm gonna try and make sure that I get this correct and that I just give you guys all of the facts, because here we go with this big story that I've been talking about that no one's talking about. And it's actually like some of the most darning evidence is actually closer to 12 years old, not 14 years old like I initially thought, but it's still relevant. The lady that I've been talking about in my first intro video, you guys, so she's the one who's gonna really break this whole interesting story I have wide open. It's not even a story, it's the truth. I'm just gonna get right into it, you guys, so I don't get off track. So, the introduction to Lorna Byrne. Lorna Byrne is a Dublin, Ireland born author and spiritual leader, I guess you can call her, but we're gonna get to what I call her, what she really is, in the eyes of God in a minute. Who grew up seeing angels her entire life since she was 3 years old. I remember there's a story of her in the fire. There's a story of her seeing the ghost of her little brother in a fire. And she was talking about how she could see his guardian angel, and all of that. And that was like her first introduction to the spirit world and the spirit realm and all of those kinds of things. So, again, Lorna Byrne is an author of 2 really famous books, and this is actually really interesting for later on in the video. I forgot to write this down actually, but she didn't actually get started on the book that I'm going to be referencing today first. Although it was still 12 years ago, and that will be significant later, you guys will see. Her first book is actually called Angels in My Hair. And that was what first initially really interested me in her. I'll get to more of that in a minute as well. So also, I just, now that we're done with the introduction to Lorna Byrne, I also want to bring up a few points that I have here, which is that if you follow Jesus, then you're following God. And I feel like, that's why she doesn't wear a hijab, that's, all these kinds of things. But in a few clips I'm going to show you, I've already shown you, perhaps, you'll also see that she does have a hijab because she's in a conference, again, years after writing this book, that will be significant later as well, and you will see that she is mostly wearing it for the conference. But as I said, as long as you are a follower of any of the prophets, such as Jesus, peace be upon him, then you will be automatically a part of the brotherhood. You know what I mean. Sisterhood, whatever. Yeah. You're a part of Islam, basically. So, although she is and I forgot to mention this, she is also a born Catholic. So I'm not going to redo this intro, guys. Just bear with me here. And I specifically remember telling myself, okay, because this is just a few months ago when I was really coming closer and closer to Islam. Again, that'll be in my testimony video, which is different from this. I will go way more in depth in detail about my actual testimony and how I came to this faith. But this is, how I came back into my faith. So this is really just essentially kind of like a teaser. This entire video is going to be kind of long, but it's going to be essentially a teaser. It's still to my testimony video. So you guys, here we go. I said to myself, if this book is true, then I will see evidence of it, and people who didn't read about it, and, layman people, who might not know what the Quran is. And that's exactly why I'm bringing up Lorna Byrne tonight, actually, because it's currently 11 p.m., Saturday, 3/19/22. Because doing the preparation just for this video was intense. That's why I'm messing up all over the place, but I'm not about to do a review because that's just out of the question, you guys. I need to get this information out. I love this so much. Okay, so I'm going to go directly to the timestamps that I have for the videos that I'm going to show you of Lorna Byrne in this video of mine right here. And I'm going to talk about the timestamps of each video. So in the first video, where she's being interviewed by Muslims, again, the significance of that I will mention later. She is talking about, there's something you need to know, which is what it initially really intrigued me about her, which is that she, much like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, though she's not a prophet, she is illiterate. She cannot read or write. God made her that way. She's born in like the late 40s or 50s, I think, and yet she cannot read or write.
A spiritual evolution that is going on at the moment. Like, I can't read or write. You know, when people say, how did you write the books you have written? But you have to remember, you know, God chose this time, I didn't.
So I just thought that was amazing, you guys. And let me tell you why. It's amazing because just like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, she was sent. She's no prophet, but she was sent. She was sent as God says in the Quran, but a plain reminder for man. And I will put it on the screen if I can find it. It is definitely in the Quran. Just, you guys, this took enough effort as it is. You might want to look it up on your own, but I will put as many surahs in here as I can when referencing things, okay? So that was very interesting. So then the next point that I wanted to make is about how, how she's sent as a sign to man about the angels, because, because God did not elaborate about that in the Quran. So I was like, okay, so because he didn't elaborate on it, and again, I'll find the surah where he mentions the angels here if I can find it for you guys. But
one is to first remember that every person has a guardian angel, regardless of what their faith is.
Because of that particular thing, and his angels being a very important thing, I'm thinking, based off of the evidence that I have in front of me, that, again, this is what helped me come back to Islam, that, okay, he said Lorna as one of those plain reminders for man. Like, well, the entire Quran is supposed to be a plain reminder for man. He says that in the Quran itself. But she's one of the many signs and proofs, you know, that he sends to us.
What religion they are, or even if people say to me, what about bad people? I'm afraid they have a guardian angel as well. You've got to remember that. You know, every single person has. I'm traveling the world now, and I haven't seen anybody without a guardian angel. Here in New York, walking up and down the streets, you know, I've been watching out because people are saying, have you seen anyone yet without a guardian angel? I know if I saw someone and they hadn't a guardian angel, I don't know what I would do. I would be horrified because something would be very, very wrong.
So this is what I mean, right? She is a sign. She's a messenger without being like, you know, Elijah, Muhammad or something, or someone like that. She's of lower status, but just as important. Like I'm like, I have so much evidence that points to her being legitimate, like how she mentions that there is the hell, and I will I'll show that clip here as well.
I call it the other side because one day God did introduce me. I'm a Catholic, so I would call him Satan, the head of all of the evil or the bad.
We believe in that too.
And she also mentions, as I will show here, because I just want to show you guys all the evidence of her saying this out of her own mouth, because I just figure, like, hello, that's just, like, obviously, like, the best thing to do, because why not? Well, I'm a little bit more nervous in this video than I was the last one, so I'm probably going to talk way too fast. So, yeah, that's why I'm talking like this. I'm used to my cameras not having a lot of time on them either, so I'm really trying to get through this, you guys, although it's extremely important, and I should not rush. I just feel like I kind of need to tonight. Oh, my gosh. Tonight it's 11 p.m. Get it together. Okay, no, but here we are. So guys, by the way, do you like my makeup? Okay, I'll shut up. Again, so she mentions how they're the gatekeeper of our soul, and if I can find the surah, and if you're Muslim, then you should know this.
Your guardian angel is a gift from God. It's the gatekeeper of your soul.
There is a surah where he specifically mentions how angels, well, I believe it's in a surah, how angels, you know, write down what we say, take it back to God, you know, all of these things. He being, you know, the angel Gabriel who was speaking to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He was, you know, Gabriel was mentioning how, you know, okay, God receives all these messages, all of the prayers, and he's also watching each and every one of us. Well, our angels are. And speaking of which, Also in the Quran, there's just so much, you guys. I don't even know how to. I was trying to keep it organized. I can't. Basically, in the Quran, again, if you've not read it, he explicitly states, God, that each and every single human being has an angel. Okay, and so if I'm covering up my face a lot with her clips, that's because I don't like something in the video or I messed up my hijab. Okay, you know, I'm a Leo. Yeah. So I just mentioning that's kind of why I'm like really like a bundle of nerves right now. Okay, so but moving on, like I said again, giving her more credit because this gives more credit to her name and being a follower of Islam. Although she was born Catholic, this gives her credit when she says and when she explicitly states that hell is real. I know I already mentioned that, you guys, and if I already showed you the clip, awesome, but I just thought I'd mention that again. So moving right along, people often think, okay, well then how did she write the book? How did she write both books? She had her daughters and obviously like a computer program to help her write the books. The messages, much like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
You know, when people say, how did you write the books you have written? But you have to remember, you know, God chose this time, I didn't, to help that spiritual evolution to happen.
The last prophet, much like him, God sent another sign to us to pay attention to, which also angels, or Archangel Michael, because she mentions him a lot. Go learn about him some more on your own time. But Archangel Michael instead of Gabriel, because Gabriel, even in the Bible, it's mentioned that Gabriel specifically, messenger angel. This is what he does. He is only for the messengers and the prophets specifically. So, wallahi, she's not, she's not just a huge prophet. She is there are going to be people at the end of times that are, you know, signs like Mehdi and, you know, I don't know, Dajjal, obviously, I forget him. Like, there's going to be a lot of signs leading up to those people, right? Coming down to earth, like Jesus, like we all know. I think we all know who Jesus is. I mean, right? Okay. So, like, anyways, all those people, like, there are going to be people even before them who, and events who will, like, showcase, like, what will showcase the day of resurrection, right? So Lorna is one of those warning signs, you can call her as well. She's one of those warning signs that this is coming, and no, we still don't know when. Don't ask me about any dates, you guys. I'm not some type of psychic over here, but that is something I have dealt with, and I will talk about what God thinks about psychics, what I think he thinks about psychics, at least. I don't like to speak for him. I do not like people who speak for God, but I do want to mention really quickly how, you know, God really does give us certain inclinations, fitra, a intuition, you know. So not all psychics are bad. The ones who are trying to charge you $10,000 and then not go into detail, yeah, obviously they're bad. You know, cold readings can be haram. They can be from spirits like jinn or something. But I do want to make it clear that although they may not be from God, God does give us certain fitra, you know, inclinations that we all have, whether we are all fully aware of them or not. So I just want to throw that in there, you guys. And Lorna also mentions jinn. Speaking of jinn, and I am going to talk about the one that was in my house, I promise you that. Lorna also says in the first video about how, you know, jinn are not human spirits.
That story was the time I went fishing with my dad, and the angels had said to me, you know, Lorna, there's something we're going to show you, and try and not be afraid. But of course I was terrified because of what happened in this falling down house. And I have come across the poltergeist on other occasions, but I haven't written about it, you know, and it is very important to remember. Sometimes people might call them evil spirits. You know, they might call them by different names in different religions. But they are belong to the other side. They're not actually a soul. They're not the soul of a person. So do you want to ask another question? They're not actually a soul. They're not the soul of a person.
And this is going to bleed into another video that I'm going to do later, you guys. Specifically talking about Sam and Colby. Because, guys, they are literally trying to actively communicate with jinn, and we all, as believers, know how incredibly dangerous that is. Like, I love them, they're awesome, I love watching them, but I can't support that. I can't actually support that, right? Because I know what it can lead to. I know how dangerous it is. So she specifically, also giving her more credit, explicitly mentions how they are not human spirits. What did I write down here? Because souls go with God somewhere, you know. Yeah, like souls, they go with, sorry, I have like short-term memory loss, that's why I need to write everything down. I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, like souls, they go directly with God and where he wants us to be placed. They do not linger around on earth. If they are, then there's something very bad going on. It's not supposed to happen with a human soul. I don't think it ever does. Let's just be clear. Obviously the Quran would have said so otherwise. So yeah, very important to remember. Also got clips of them, like from their videos, you know, where they, you know, were talking to a jinn and they acknowledge, oh my gosh, it said it wasn't a human spirit. I'm like, bro, yeah, I know it wasn't. Like, what are you doing? So you know what I'm saying, like these young men, like they're just entertaining themselves and they're young fans, but they're so impressionable. We get into all that you know, later, you guys, but it's not good. So I will be doing a reaction video to Sam and Colby very soon. So in her other video, which I'll show you guys the clips too now, there's a part where she mentions that he keeps sending her to America, and specifically to the Muslim community in America. And I'm almost like, whoa, you know. So I'm going to show that clip right here.
It's like, for some reason, unknown to myself, the root is actually here. So to me, that is why God keeps sending me back. And he keeps sending me back to the Muslim community, more so than any other.
Yes.
You know,
So
and
why do you think that is? And
why do I think that is? Because again, you have to unify, you have to become one, you have to come together. I always remember, you know, at times being challenged and said, how dare you, Lorna, say a Muslim has a guardian angel or a Jewish person has a guardian angel? No, nobody has, only us Catholics. You know?
So there was that, you guys, and I just think that it's amazing because it really showcases that, okay, that's it. She's talking to God. There's no one else. I'm sure there's a clip in here that I would like to talk about that I can't remember because I don't want to play the video while I'm talking to you guys at the same time. I'd rather just put it in this entire video instead after I'm done speaking, because you guys, there's just so much to touch on. I'm sure like I'll put words on the screen relating to other things that she said when it comes to being sent to America multiple times specifically to give dawah. That's what we call dawah. She's literally being sent to America to give dawah, you guys. You guys, like, was that not what she was saying? I'm so sorry. What else is it? Okay, so then there's more. Oh, and then she said she's sent here more than any, she's sent to our community more than any other community. And didn't she just get to say it's so that we can come together under one roof, like of basically Islam, because what else is better? She says multiple times that it doesn't matter what religion you are when it comes to getting to heaven. That's why she wrote the book Stairways to Heaven. However, the Quran confirms this as well. It says towards the end of the Quran, if I can find the surah for you guys, again, you're making me do all this work. Okay, you're not. I'm doing it myself, but dang. Like, I keep bringing up these things I want you guys to see. So, anyways, in the Quran, there's a surah that specifically states how, although, you know, God, you know, Gabriel, whatever, was telling Muhammad, like, that these Christians, and I looked up the word for Christians that they used, and it was specifically talking about Catholics. Lord is a Catholic, hello. But it was specifically saying how Catholics, these particular Catholics who are practicing the wrong thing, were still saved and brought into Jannah. Because it said something about how Allah is, you know, surely he is oft pardoning or something. I just thought it was so beautiful. Okay, I'm done. I'm really not. So again, I'm going to mention something else. She says there's no need for different strands of religion. I'm going to show you that clip here as well.
God has just got me so focused on yourselves. I've been told to keep on going back to America. And I keep giving out to him, but he says, no, Lorna, off you go. You must go. You must keep on telling them and giving them the messages over and over again till they start to, it's like the messages register with you. You start to do what Allah is asking you to do.
So come together.
to come together as one. You are American Muslims. You aren't all these different strands.
Well, oh my gosh. You guys can't understand. You can't understand how meaningful that is. I mean, obviously, if you're a Muslim, you do understand how meaningful that is, and how every umbrella of Islam. Well, there's only one umbrella, and that is Islam, and how all of us should come together under that particular umbrella. If you are even a little bit spiritual, you will understand the importance of this, okay? And it is Islam that she's referring to, so I don't want you guys to think, oh, she's still saying that you don't need any religion. No, she's not saying that at all, actually. And again, if I found that right surah, you'll see what I'm talking about, and how God isn't allowing her to say anything that's really completely out of context here, as I just explained. Like, literally, he's just saying, have a chance. We all have a chance to go to Jannah, even if we don't follow this particular perfect religion perfectly, okay? And I just feel like a lot of Muslims don't mention that enough, and that is extremely, extremely important to bring it up, okay? Allah, she corrects herself, and she says what Allah wants us to do, and I'll show that clip right here. I just thought that was lovely. And again, she says to unify and become one, essentially, so that we unify and become one. One Islamic country, one Islamic world. That's what she's talking about, you guys. And that leads me into first, okay, not first, but yeah, I want to mention how she says, and I'll show that clip right here in the first video that I was talking about, how we do not pray enough.
To describe it, it's hundreds of thousands of angels of prayer going up instead of coming down when you're praying. And that's one thing we all have to remember. We don't pray enough. And I'd love to see all religions, gather together, all faiths, and pray together. Like, that is very, very important. And to respect each other the way we pray, and not to feel afraid or of the differences that each of us have. Because if each and every person here started to pray in the way you would pray within your custom of your religion, the angels of prayer are doing the same thing with each and every one of you. They're enhancing your prayer. Prayer is prayer, and that's what we have to remember. It doesn't matter, who's saying the prayer. Even if it is just one word, prayer is so
I don't even need to really elaborate on this too much. Yeah, I really don't need to elaborate a little. Y'all know how important prayer is, and how Christians don't pray. They only pray for things that they want. I might show the clip here with this lady, that's interviewing Lorna. She was talking about how, Catholics, especially up in the UK and everything, and in other islands and places like Ireland and things like that, how a lot of those kinds of people, I don't want to say too much, they would, strict Catholics, they're like, hey, we don't all have guardian angels, or hey, if you do something underneath Catholicism, then it's okay, but if any other person does it, then their religion is wrong and they shouldn't be doing it. But it's okay if we do it with our religion.
A religious conflict going on where the one God was used to kill. The same God was used by Catholics and Protestants. And if a Catholic did it and you were a Catholic, that was all right, because our God would agree with that. If you were a Protestant and the Protestant did it, that's okay. Our God agreed with that. The insanity of the whole process of that kind of thinking.
Basically, it's what a lot of Catholics still think for some reason. So, you guys, I don't have time. Watch Sheikh Uthman's videos. You'll know what I'm talking about, and all the corruptions in the Bible, and why that is just simply not true. But anyway, moving right along. Yeah, so moving right along, call him by all his beautiful names. He has many, that's also in the Quran. I will show that right here as well, you guys. I thought that was just a beautiful thing to remember, that it does not matter what you call him. And that brings me to of where Lorna is basically saying, yeah, when I started going on this journey and God and his angels started showing me things, I was like, hey, what do I call you since I was born a Catholic? What do I do since I was born a Catholic? what do I do? What do I call you? Jesus? Like, so then that's what he said. He was like, what do you already call me, Lorna? And she was like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, God. Although we call him Allah, which literally translates to the only one worthy of worship. So I like to call him the only one worthy of worship, because sometimes I don't even feel worthy of saying his true name. But yeah, that was just a little tidbit of information. Doesn't matter what you call him, as long as you recognize him as the one and the greatest, and that is it. That he's no partners, right? But I always thought that when he was referring to we in the Quran, that he was talking about that he was talking about him and his angels. But I mean, I guess I'm wrong. It's a term of endearment when he says we or majesty or something. I don't know. Okay. So, and another thing, you guys, I'm just so all over the place, and I don't know why I have this. I don't understand what I'm doing. No, but I want to mention how she could never have this. We're getting into the nitty and the gritty. We're getting into the good stuff now. We get into the, you know what I'm saying? So I digress. I'm trying not to run out of time here, but yeah. So again, here's where her credibility really lies. Okay, I already talked about how she's illiterate. I already talked about how she has dyslexia since she wasn't born in the middle of a desert like Muhammad. God had to do something. He gave her dyslexia. Okay, great. Crazy, right? Okay, and then I already mentioned how she's like born Catholic in the middle of Ireland. This is what's important about that, though. That's why she could not have pulled any of this out of her arsenal. That's why she couldn't have got any of this information from a Muslim and just decided to kind of word things together a certain way. That'll make sense in a minute, you guys. With that being said, I have to mention how this is the best part, you guys. She mentions her experience in Mecca, going to see the angels and people praying around the Kaaba, and that's what I'm going to show you guys. This is what really, just like about a month and a half ago, I guess, or so, these months are blending in together. My God, I'm so sorry, but I really started getting back on my deen, whatever, back to with my faith around December. So. And I finished listening to the audiobook of the Quran in December of last year. And you guys, then I found this video just about a month ago, and it just shook me to my core. This is where she is shown the potential future we can have. Because if we all know about certain hadiths, then we know that the Kaaba will eventually be destroyed. That broke my heart because I found out later. But before all of that, we actually have the potential, and this is according to Lorna's experience, of course. You know, you can go by the hadith if you want, but this does not necessarily negate the hadith. God is always giving us chances to do better, even though he will eventually get rid of this world. He's constantly giving us chances to do better. So now, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys this amazing clip of where she's shown Mecca, and this is why I said being born illiterate, having written Angels in My Hair 14 years ago in 2008, and having written this particular book that this clip is coming from 12 years ago. 14 to 12 years ago. The most recent book where she mentions, Jannah, heaven, and the Kaaba is from her book Stairways to Heaven. So you guys, without further ado, I need to calm down. Here is Angels in Holy Kaaba Mecca Experience with Muslims. Okay, well, that's the name of the clip. But anyways, you guys.
Michael didn't say a word, even when I asked him questions or complained that I couldn't do this. As I walked, my soul moved ahead of me in front of my body. I found myself standing a short distance from a big screen. I began watching a film of a Muslim pilgrimage. There were thousands of people, all dressed in white and praying. Angels lit up the screen and it expanded, becoming bigger and bigger, filling all the space ahead of me. In a flash of light, my soul was transported spiritually to that place and time. I was surrounded by people praying, and the power of their prayer electrified my soul. I was a part of the prayers that were being listened to by God. I knew my body was standing in the library, even though I couldn't feel any connection to my body, but I was also watching my soul there among the other pilgrims praying. An angel told me the place was called Mecca. I watched the prayers of tens of thousands of Muslims on their pilgrimage to this sacred holy place. I could see the light of the guardian angels of each and every one of them beaming brightly. I could see millions of other angels too. No one prays alone. Your guardian angel always joins with you when you pray. Other angels always join in your prayers too, and that is why I saw these millions of angels. We can also ask the angels to join us in our prayers, thereby increasing the power of the prayer to God. Occasionally, I am asked whether we should pray to angels. I only pray to God. I talk to angels. I ask them for their help, and I ask them to pray to God with me. As each pilgrim prayed, I could see the words of his prayer been taken by his guardian angel and given to one of the millions of angels there to carry prayers to the throne of heaven. The angels that carry our prayers up to heaven are prayer angels. They never show me a human appearance, and their light is somewhat different to other angels. They move upwards and then disappear, leaving a trail behind them. They move so fast, it's as if they are part of a never-ending stream. An angel carries each and every prayer, or prayerful thought, upwards. The stream of angels carrying prayers heavenwards was never-ending. It didn't cease for 1 second. The power and glory of what I was seeing was indescribable. The power of prayer can move this world of ours towards peace, towards unity, towards a better world. Those Muslims were praising God, praying for what they believed was right. Imagine seeing all religions of the world joining together, all religions under the one umbrella, the way my soul knows they should be. Imagine people from other religions joining the pilgrims at Mecca in prayer. This is one of the possible futures that I have been shown for mankind. There are others which would lead to chaos. But this is a future I profoundly wish and pray for. All mankind living in peace and unity, all striving together for a better future for the world. As I stood there watching, my human body started to feel God's love. The feeling of love became overwhelming. Then, with a flash of light, I was jolted back to the present. The film screen went back to normal size. I was surrounded by the dim light of the library again. I wanted to cry out, to say no. I didn't want it to end. My soul was enjoying being in the midst of such fervent prayer. As my soul stepped back into my body, I started to feel alive in my body again. I became conscious of Michael's hand in mine. Michael turned me around, and I walked slowly away from the screen. With each step, I felt a bit stronger. I could feel my feet on the ground again. I also became conscious again that there were other people around. It had felt like I had the place to myself. Shortly afterwards, Jean came over and suggested we leave. I smiled and nodded. She walked ahead of me, and I followed. As I stepped out onto the streets with Angel Michael still holding my hand, the beautiful angel standing guard acknowledged me. Jean was unaware of what had happened and left me to go to the bus on my own. I really needed to sit down for a little while and went into a cafe. As I entered, Angel Michael said he had to leave. The touch of his hand faded slowly as I thanked him, and he disappeared. I sat in the cafe thinking. The angels had always told me that it didn't matter what religion anyone belonged to. The truth is that it's the forces of evil that create divisions between one religion and another, making one religion feel that their beliefs are superior to another's. God and the angels have told me that there are many stairways to heaven.
Yeah, I'm sure you've watched it now. I don't know what to say. I already watched it, obviously. Oh my gosh. Like, doesn't it just make you feel like, yes, this is how I know this is the right religion? Doesn't it just make you feel like, because, I mean, again, didn't I already mention, you guys, how I said that to give her, like, more credibility and everything, she would have to have not been talking to any Muslims at this time period that in which she wrote this book, which was still 12 years ago. 4 years after or so, I'm not good at math, after she wrote Angels in My Hair. It wasn't that much longer after. So, yeah, it was 4 years after she wrote Angels in My Hair, you guys, which was all about her experiences with angels, having seen them as a child, and everything like that. So, just a couple of years later, you guys, boom, here we go. We have this amazing masterpiece. I've not read it yet. So don't even try to come after me. I'm just stating this most amazing miracle that she witnessed by herself 12 years ago. And again, I did not want to bring this up, but I have to, I think it gives her even more credibility, okay? And it's the fact that although she wrote it 12 years ago, as it is in 2010, the book that has the, whole Kaaba experience in it anyways, think about it, you guys. This means that the actual experience took place probably even years prior to that. So this is an actually at least like potentially 15, 12 to 20 year even. It could be even a 20-year-old experience, but yet and still she decided to write about it like a few years afterwards when she probably still did not meet any Muslims, because she was, as far as to my knowledge, she was still in Ireland. So what that means, you guys, is that she had all of this information within her because of what God showed her on purpose, or without any interference from outsiders and outside people such as us, right? Us Muslims being that, right? So I know not everyone watching this is Muslim, obviously, okay, but that's exactly why I want you to watch this video. But after that, you know, I don't really have much else to say other than, I pretty much touched on everything I wanted to. I know that I'm scatterbrained right now, and I'm going to forget something incredible. But that was the most incredible part. Like, that was it. Like, peace, y'all. I mean, you know, no, that was essentially all that there was to my, I don't know what to call this, pre-testimony? Yeah, pre-testimony, I guess. So this is like my pre-testimony video. Guys, I tell you, alhamdulillah, like this is what ultimately really strengthened my fitra and my iman. If this is not iman, if this is not an iman booster, bro, then I don't know what is. Because honestly, when I found out about this particular clip, I was just thrown. I was taken aback. Now, if it doesn't have the same effect for you guys and all my little evidences and clips and videos and things, if that was simply not enough for you guys, you know, then I understand. But I really just hope that you take this, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I hope that you learned something from it, you guys. I just want to, this is my dawah, you know. I'm no Ali dawah. Like, I mean, I can't do all that stuff, but I'm such a recluse, you guys. I don't know. I call myself dawah straight, but like maybe, I don't know. I might actually go out there. I don't know. But like for now, this is my dawah. I want to give it to you guys. Like I want you to have the first-hand experience of what I experienced. I know I'm kind of crazy, and it probably wasn't so much of a beautiful moment because of my not so cute voice or whatever. But I still hope that you had a good experience learning about it with me. And with that being said, you guys, my eyelashes are falling off and they're bothering me. I have so much of this video to cut out. I need to go. But I just hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. That's why I'm blinking a lot. Oh my gosh. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna see if there's anything else that I want to mention to you guys before I leave. This may actually be part 1. I'm not sure. If this isn't part 1 and I have more information for you guys, as I promised, I will give it to you. You can rely on me. Okay. I'm gonna try and be here every week if I have something to talk about. If not, then maybe every 2 weeks. If you guys can withstand that. If you like my videos and you learned something and it strengthened your iman, hopefully, then I just pray that you guys come back. Again, I don't know what I named this video. I don't know if I named it Lorna Confirms Islam. Islam is the truth. I don't know. But I just hope that you guys tune in for more. Subscribe to the channel. You know, buy my merch, you know, stay safe, you know, it's my little clothing line, whatever. And I also make, you know, masks and everything, you know, head over there, have fun, you know, support the channel, because this really is all about dawah, you guys. I will send proof of the charities that I send my proceeds to, if I ever get to that point, you guys. You can hold me to that. You know, obviously, if I can keep a little bit of it without you scolding me, that would be nice. But like I said, I'm essentially doing this for God, so I want you guys to really take that in and really understand that that's my true purpose here. And it might actually be one of the purposes of my life. So I really take this really seriously, you guys. And again, my eye is bothering the hell out of me, so I gotta go. But there's also a surah, if I didn't already mention it, where God specifically states that we all have angels. I'm sure I already mentioned that already. I just thought that was, yeah. Like, but he doesn't really go into details, so that's what he sent Lorna for. And just like one more thing, you guys, again, if you think that she's a fraud or this isn't enough or this or that, again, the woman cannot read, just like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. No, she's not a prophet, but she was still sent here. Nevertheless, she's but a plain reminder for man, essentially. Of the coming times, if you want to call it that. I mean, that's exactly what it is. What else are we talking about here? You guys, if you want to look into our medical records, whatever you have to do, y'all. But essentially, that's what I believe she is. And that's why I just wanted to come to y'all. I just wanted you to see it for yourself. Think about it. Take it with a grain of salt. Anyways, you guys, I've taken up enough of your time. I've spoken way too much. I hope I touched on everything. Probably not. I just want you guys to know that this is my Dawa channel, and this is Dunya Streets. And I love you guys. I appreciate anyone tuning in right now. And I just hope that, you know, and I just hope that you share this video with everybody. I mean, I want to do a collaboration with these awesome Muslim brothers called the Three Muslims. So if you guys could send this video over to them, the Three Muslims channel, that would be amazing. Oh, that's if I actually publish this and it turns out well. Of course I am. Like, I've been wanting to start a spiritual channel for so long. I'll get into that later too, you guys. I mean, God literally told me when the right time was to do this. My testimony video is going to be even crazier and more explicit than this, you guys. So I hope you're prepared for it, because I was anyway, we're not getting into all that. Okay? You guys, y'all, you know, want some advice on like relationship stuff? Like, I know anything about that, but yeah, I do. Especially the bad parts. You know, hit me up, DM me. You know, follow me at LT Designs. The description. Whatever you want, you guys. I'll be putting more social media down soon as well. So anyways, you guys, that's all I had to say. I love you so much for even tuning in. For the sake of Allah, thank you. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, you guys, and have a wonderful evening, night, morning, whatever, all that. And I will be back. Bye. Oh. How do women do this shite? Oh my god.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس